Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? The update is finally out. We waited all darn day, like all stupid day, talking about literally nothing, and finally it is out and we are excited. Merric might actually be good now. We're actually going to take a look at him first. He has accelerated special cooldown, which is just massive, super massive, so good. Effective against flying, and it also gives him 5 attack and speed. Basically 24x7, you know? Like, you can expect him to always be in range at all times when put on the right team. So I think that's basically just plus 5 attack speed, period. Very rare occasions where that does not happen. So I want to take a look at what his stats would be like with those boosts at all times. So just to give you an idea, if he is always to have 5 attack and 5 speed here, he's at 31-37 spread with his 5 attack and 5 speed. So good, so good. He's actually like a suitable unit now, especially with 28 defense there. He's got his bulk up, he's got his offenses up with this. This is a really good way to get him into the position to actually do damage and actually double people. Seeing him at 37 speed is just so weird to me. So he'll have 45 there attack with his buffs and everything. And we also don't have an IV as well, so maybe something like, I don't know what his IV spreads are. Does he have a super anywhere? I just want to check between supers, between speed and attack. Oh, he has a super boon in attack, so something like this looks fantastic. 49-37 with his weapon on there. And of course, if I'm going to build somebody like him, and say you're going to want to merge him up to plus 10 and summoner support him, I'm going to want to build him with close counter. There's no way I'm building a Merric if I am someone who wants a Merric. There's no way Merric is coming into my life without close counter. It's just not a thing that's going to happen. With that much defense right off the bat, we're for sure getting in there. Also something like swap or whatever there, and I would do Aether as well because you do have the accelerate special cooldown, so the 4 cooldown Aether would be so good. You have basically auto kills against flyers at this point too, unless they are red. Really happy with this build, and I'm really happy with this weapon. This is probably the refine I'm most happy with out of everybody, so I can't believe I'm praising our boy Merric at this point. But look at what monstrosities we can put him into. I have no idea what I would possibly do with the other skills here, but I always like Vantage, and his res isn't really too high. You can't really use any ploys on him, but maybe like an attack smoke or something there. I have no idea what I would do. I'll do an in-depth view on these units and how to build them after, but for now, just take a look at his stats and see how respectable they are, and I think that's somebody we may need to fear in the future, since I'm not really scared of homes like Nino now that just die instantly, but I am scared of people like this with 50 HP, 34 defense, and 43 speed. So super respectable unit now, and I'm very happy they gave us this refine. Next up here we have Lind, and Aura's refine now is 14 might, and at the start of turn grants 6 attack to adjacent magic and staff allies for 1 turn. I really wish that was her as well, but obviously that's what they're trying to do with her other one. If she's also in space of a magic or staff ally, so same boost as Merric, for example, if they're together, they work really well together. They'll both get their boost. She gets the same attack and 5 speed. So let's take a look at Lind. I still do not have a Lind to this day. One of the reasons why we're using a browser instead of actually in-game, because I don't have one to show you. So let's see a plus speed minus, actually let's just go super base Lind here. So her spreads without her buffs are 37, 38, that seems weird. Summoner support, 35, 36. Holy crap, you kind of forget how good stat spread Lind has, and if she also has the attack 5 and speed 5 here, that puts her at 40, 41 basically with her weapon. And again, you have to imagine if you're going to build a unit like this, you're going to be next to, within 2 spaces too. 2 spaces is huge that it's not just 1 space. You're going to be next to that style of unit. It's like nobody's going to build a core and refine and then not play with a partner, you know? Like, it's just not going to happen. So super impressed with this, and Aura is 14 might, just wanted to make sure. So that's what her stat spread would look like here, and just to get an idea, if you happen to have a plus 10 one merged out to see her stat spread here, you could do like a life and death 3, just to show you how bonkers her stats can get to. Holy crap, she gets just absolutely monstrous. I'm not sure what else to build with her. I was kind of hoping she would turn into a light mage like her name said. Like, I was really hoping she would be a healer in some sense of the word, but I'm not sure how they would manage doing that. So I feel like they tried to get that done and couldn't, so they just went with this instead. But either way, I am super stoked for this. Okay. Next up is one I'm kind of disappointed with, and by kinda, I think I mean I'm pretty hugely disappointed. I've been wrong before though, so I will take another look at this later. But we've got our young Tiki and adult Tiki refined now. It is 16 might, 3 extra HP. It's a Falchion. It's literally just a Falchion breath. So it's effective against dragons, which is fantastic. I really like that, but not for like an end game goal as a +10 unit. Restores 10 HP if ranges, you know the rest here. This is basically what every single person was guessing. It was pretty obvious that was going to happen. It just fits perfectly into meta. It fits perfectly into what the weapon originally was, and it is what it is. So that is good. I do like that. I'm just not entirely sold on the second half. We can get 5 attack and 5 defense, but we lose our distant counter, and we all knew for the most part we probably were not going to get distant counter, especially if this was Falchion. Because Falchion mixed with DC just didn't feel right. It didn't merge right. It didn't sit well together as a weapon. So I was pretty much hoping we were going to get DC, but I was pretty confident we were. And I was just hoping we got something like Steady Breath to make it worth it. Because right now, you're really kind of going to have DC to score well for one, to really handle a lot of units, you know. You're just losing so much power by not having DC, and I'm really sad about it. Granted, attack and 5 defense is huge, like really huge, and I am really happy for that, and we'll take a look at Tiki in a second too. And you can stack that with brazen attack defense or something like that to get your stats even higher. But losing out on Steady Breath if you want to go DC, or losing out on basically anything, is a very sad place to be. So let's take a look at Tiki now here and see what she looks like. Let's bring her down to a 0 merge for now. What was she at? 5 attack and 5 defense. And again, we have to imagine she's always going to be next to a dragon or a sword. So let's just see what she looks like with that. She'll be not speed. She is not a speedy dragon. There we go. So she'll look like 40 attack, 40 defense, at base +0, which is great, I guess. Just no DC, which makes me really sad. And as for her spread, I still am a fan of mixed bulk Tiki, but because this weapon seems to be really pushing defense, let's just see what kind of monstrosity we can come out with here. We'll also want to +10 her. We'll also want to get that up, and we'll use a what might is it, just so I can match the might? 16 might. So let's use a flame tongue. That's 16, right? 14, 15. So flame tongue is 16. Let's just bring it up to there. No, that's too much. I have no idea which one is 16, so let's just go with this instead. And then we can give her bonfire, I think. With that much defense, you're going to want a bonfire or Ignis, right? And then you're stuck with Steady Breath, I guess. You also have the 4 defense there. And then her B skill, you're going to want a QR3, I'm guessing. And for your S, you'll want something to patch things up. I'm not sure what, but let's put CD3 for now. So overall, pretty insane still. Like, these are pretty good stats, but I'm still not sold on it. I'm still not sold that this is better than just like Lightning Breath, Steady Breath. Like, I'm still not sold that this is better than that option. I guess in highest tier arena you don't need the DC, but in highest tier arena you kind of need the DC anyway for the score. So I'm just not entirely sure what to think about this. I was super dead set on +10ing my Tiki, but not sure anymore. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about it and see how I like this build. I'm definitely refining this onto my young Tiki. Definitely 100% happening, but not sure on adult Tiki at this point. So finally, guys, one last thing here is the Fatal. Yay! We finally got our first accessory. You can see what it looks like here. We've got our Fae doll on the head. I haven't actually seen how this works in combat. We've got a bunch of new everything, right? We're gonna take a look at that later, but let's just do this for now. Let's just take a look at, I'm still trying to figure out where things are. Accessories. See if this works in combat or anything like that. Ooh, that's gross. You look better without that, Micaiah. I'm so sorry for doing this to you. I just want to see if we see any of this in the actual combat animations or what happens. I know it is a wonderful day, especially when you have a fae on your head.
Yes.
So is it just in animations? Oh wow, hype. I was so worried that it wasn't going to show up in these animations. So cool, so cool, so cool. So anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate you being here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. And again, this is a very, very, very first initial reaction on these units and what I think about the refines. Just too long didn't watch if you skipped to the end for some reason. I think Merric's is fantastic. I think Lynn's is fantastic. And I think Tiki's, I need to play and see. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye now.